And as promised, we're joined by Dawn Porter. Welcome to This Week. How widespread is pornography in our society?
Hugely. It's everywhere, on all sorts of different levels. It starts in, magazines to pop videos to movies and then all the way to, hardcore porn. I'd be surprised if there was anyone who hadn't witnessed pornography on one level or another.
Should we be worried about its prevalence?
I think it's got its place, and I think in some ways it can be really valuable, but I think there is the risk that it's going to be spiralling out of control, and I think that mainly comes, to children and what is available to them, and that's a terrifying prospect of what they can see. However, for an adult who wants to watch this for their own personal kicks, I don't think that's really something we need to be afraid of.
Should we be worried, Diane?
If men want to buy these top shelf magazines and take them home and wank over them, that's their private pleasure.
Are we allowed to say wank on this show?
Yeah, you are allowed to say wank.
I feel that we just have. Whether we're allowed to or not.
Okay.
I would just remind you that we are live. Most people seem to think this show's recorded. Unlike the Jon Stewart show, you can't bleep it out.
Well, we said it twice now. So.
I think twice will be enough.
Let's just say what it is. But let's just bear in mind, glamour modelling isn't that glamorous. The reality of it often is trafficked girls, and it's an allied profession to glamour modelling, prostitution.
So does it matter or not?
I don't necessarily disagree with what you say, but you have to admit that women see it a lot as well.
But the prostitution very often is about young girls strung out on crack. And so on a kind of civil liberties thing, should men be able to buy these magazines and see this stuff?
Why men all the time? What about women who watch pornography?
Because the biggest consumers of pornography are men.
But I also think that kind of porn isn't as common as, the majority of men buy porn that is legal or buy consenting women or, what you get on...
No. A lot of those girls you see in those magazines, they're only consenting because they're strung out.
Is it not a problem, Don, if
it
young people, young teenagers end up learning about sex from pornography? Isn't that a danger?
Yeah, that is dangerous in the same way as learning about aggression from movies. I think all of it, what children consume, could really shape, their mentality for their future. And what needs to be put in place is, something that there needs to be something to counterbalance it. It's there, it's available to them, it's undeniable they're going to see it.
As a parent, it's very scary that quite young children can access stuff that even, 10 years ago, adults couldn't have got, just by clicking a few,
Well, you talk about men buying magazines. That only shows your generation.
Yeah,
Most people are now watching this stuff on the internet.
And they can see really horrible stuff on the internet.
Are parents aware of just how easily accessible this stuff is?
I think they're becoming aware from recent media and recent shows like the Sex Education show. I'm not a parent. I find it really hard to comment on what good parenting and what bad parenting is. However, you would hope that at some point soon there's going to be some technology in place that's going to allow parents to make a choice of whether their kids are available to this or not.
Can I say as a parent that they have these things, but actually, because your children are always more techno
they know more about it.
And they get around them. So that there are things you can put in place, but children get around them, and it is scary, the sorts of things that young children can see.
Isn't the problem is we're in uncharted territory here. As Dawn says, young people can now access violence in a way that they've never been able to do so before. And it's thrown at them on TV, video games, movies and so on. They can now do the same with pornography as well. We have no idea. There may be no impact, but we have no idea what the impact on young minds of this is going to be.
My problem with porn, apart from the fact that the women that are involved often are trafficked women, is it dehumanises women. And I just think the long-term consequences of quite young boys seeing women in this kind of dehumanised way is not nice, it's not good.
I'm not sure I agree with dehumanising, actually, but
dehumanising is the word. We've had cases of rape in my part of London where the boys, having raped the girls, have poured acid all over them. Right. Those boys do not see those girls as human.
And that's a problem with, most pornography is, I know women do watch it, but it is still overwhelmingly a men thing. And the image that is presented of women in pornography is not really what you would want in the 21st century men to have an image of.
No, however, the latest phenomena, and probably one of the most popular forms of pornography at the moment, is the YouPorn, which is homemade pornography by real people. I think the whole thing about porn is, you know, does it portray unrealistic images of what bodies should look like, sexual performance, penis size, all that stuff, expectations, fine, and it does. However, most people know that before they watch porn it's fake. However, with the new phenomena of real porn, real couples nominating themselves, putting themselves on the internet.
Well, they're very sad people. You know, there's an issue. No. But a lot of women.
Having a great time.
No, they don't know.
Couldn't they just keep it to themselves?
Yeah, just keep it to them. A lot of women who write to me about you go and buy chocolate with your kid, and they're at kid eye level, and magazines with front covers, which, you know, a generation ago were on the top shelf. A lot of women who are quite happy for men to take it and wank over it on their own.
We're gone for the hat trick. Thanks a lot.
Dislike the way that you see these dehumanised images of women everywhere, and they dislike their children being exposed.
I'm just fine. I'll give the last word to you, Don. I'm just still not sure whether we should lighten up about it or we should worry about the long-term implications.
I think stigma attached to sex is a dangerous thing and isn't a good example for children.
Sex.
Well, I think making sex forbidden isn't good. And like I said at the beginning, I think there's a place for porn.
Heckling.
There's a place for porn. It's spiralling out of control, but if it's controlled from now, I think porn could be valuable in sex education.
I just don't know how you control it. But never mind, that's another question.
Yeah.
Don, thanks for being with us. Good to see you. I know they can be lively. That's your lot for tonight, folks. I'm off to wander the streets of London now that they're paved in gold, thanks to our great leader. Then it's home to do some research on the internet. Yes, serving you is a 24/7 job. That said, we're actually off for the next 2 weeks, so we'll see you after Easter. Bye-bye.